It is 8:52, but of course, it is never too early to start thinking about dinner, is it?
No.
That's how it goes, yeah. Or maybe just
Always.
the last dinner party.
Yeah, they have quickly become one of the UK's most talked about new bands, being named the BBC Sound of 2024 and winning this year's Brits Rising Star Award. Let's have a listen to them in action. Well soon.
Yes.
Get well soon, Georgia.
Last Dinner Party's album, Prelude to Ecstasy, is out now.
You are watching BBC Breakfast. The time is 8:59. Clock.
Let's get a little more on these proposals now. Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Ben Thompson and Sally Nugent.
Good morning. Our headlines at 6 o'clock.
It is 11 minutes past 6 and we're very lucky today because Carol is with us, and you need to be here particularly today, Carol, because I know...
Now, on the programme, we have spoken many times, haven't we, about the damage caused to our seas and rivers by raw sewage leaks. But human waste isn't the only problem. There's also the issue of chicken poo.
Correct. Spread onto fields as fertiliser and then washed into our waterways. And one campaign group is taking the government to court, accusing it of not doing enough to fix the problem. Here's our environment correspondent, Jonah Fisher.
About holiday.
Yes, please.
Fancy a trip to Spain?
Yes.
There's a catch.
Today. What?
We have to stay in a convent.
That's fine.
You think?
Yes.
So Nuns in Seville.
Is it a silent convent? Can we have peace
I think
and
so,
quiet?
because there's not much interaction. The Nuns of the 16th century convent, it's the Order of St Clair, just outside Seville. They are opening up as an Airbnb.
Right.
So you'll be able to rent the place to go and stay. They've got a few different sidelines to kind of top up their funds.
Okay.
They make pastries, which is a win.
Perfect.
They have written some religious text and they do some embroidery. They sell those pastries to you through a little service hatch, so there's not too much interaction.
Oh, no chat.
No chat. So that's, you know, sometimes that might be a good thing. You just want to go for a bit of peace and quiet.
But you'd have to take someone with you to chat to, otherwise perhaps you'd drive yourself a bit mad.
Because nuns don't take a vow of silence, do they? That's
Not
just monks.
all of them, no.
No.
There are silent orders, but I don't know if that's one of them. But if you're talking about Spain and pastry and peace and quiet, that sounds great.
Should we go?
Yes.
Let's just go now. We'll be there visiting the Nuns of the Order of St Clair. Good morning to you.
Now, 21 minutes past 6. It is more than a month since the Post Office Horizon scandal was brought into sharp focus by the ITV drama series, and still individual stories of suffering by sub-postmasters keep on coming.
Yes, they include two sisters who were pursued by Post Office investigators, even after a criminal trial against them was ruled out over faulty computer evidence. Mark Daly has the details.
At 13 minutes past 7. Let's take a look at some incredible images now, because if you are one of those lucky people who can sleep anywhere, I wish I was one of them. No, oh yeah, you can. This is taking... They know they're doing that, Carol.
Thanks, Sal.
We'll keep an eye on what's happening there, and if indeed those queues start to grow, we'll be back there with our reporter who's also in Bristol this morning. Nina
is looking at pensions today and the, frankly, enormous gap between what women are saving...
It's past 7. Good morning. We are going to talk so much more in the programme still to come this morning, including... This morning, see you shortly. But before that, let's get the news, travel and weather wherever you are this morning. See you shortly.
Well, Karen Buck was taking sodium valproate during her 4 pregnancies, and all of her children have some form of disability. She joins us now.
Sorry.
You've got the report with you there. What do you think about what they have put on paper? What do you think about their recommendation? No, Karen, that there was a problem, because I know that sodium valproate is something that you have needed to take. It wasn't like you had a choice, really. When did you first know that there was a problem and maybe a connection? You're sitting next to John now, one of your 4 children. John, if I could just bring you in at this point, I know this is an issue that has affected you. Hello, this is Breakfast with Ben Thompson and Sally Nugent.
Good morning to you. It's just after 7:30 and we're talking this morning about plans to tackle the crisis in NHS dental care. That's after the government announced plans to invest £200 million to improve NHS provision in England.
The Health Secretary, Victoria Atkins, is in our...
Now the time, just 17 minutes to 8, and for the past 6 decades, rugby league fans have watched the Harry Sunderland Trophy awarded to the most impressive player in the sports showpiece final.
Our friend Rob Burrow, who now has motor neurone disease, won it twice in 2007 and 2011. Now his association with the honour has been sealed.
And that's because in the last few minutes it's been announced that the prize has been renamed. It is now called the Rob Burrow Award. So let's hear from the man himself. It's incredible, isn't it, to see just taking the first 20 patients, and yet that's still a big queue for people trying to sign up, proving just how difficult it can be in some places.
Well, we're joined here on the sofa now by dentist. Now, John is here with us this morning, and he has some news about what happens when one of the world's biggest sports events collides with one of its biggest pop stars.
The time now 9:15. Now, we've spoken many times on this programme, haven't we, about the damage caused to our seas and rivers by raw sewage leaks. But human waste isn't the only problem. There's also chicken poo.
Yes, it gets spread onto fields as fertiliser and then washed into our waterways. And one campaign group is taking the government to court, accusing it of not doing enough to tackle the problem. Here's our environment correspondent, Jonah Fisher. Well, that report is from a longer documentary which you can watch. It's called Scotland's Post Office Scandal. It's on the BBC iPlayer right now. Viewers in Scotland can see at 8 o'clock on BBC One.
Still to come for you on.
And it's not because she's singing.
No, she's not the half-time act, is she?
No.
She's making quite a long trip to be there, though.
Yeah, and there's some debate about whether she's going to get there on time.
Yes, quite a long journey just for a game.
Yes.
But it's not just a game, sorry, if you're a massive Super Bowl fan.
No.
It's the Super Bowl.
No, no. Yeah. And she's doing it because her boyfriend's playing.
Yes. I mean, that's love as
Motivation.
well. That's dedication.
Yeah, exactly. It is 26 minutes past 6. That means it's time to get the news, the travel and the weather where you are. We're back in just a second.
Also worth saying, we're going to speak to the Health Secretary a little later in the programme. That's at 7:30 this morning here on Breakfast.
John is here this morning.
She can't. I mean, you can see why they're calling it.
Well, some people maybe not, but yeah.
Concentrate on the sport or the music, or both. There you go. Yeah.
Carol's here in the studio.
Now, 2 by-elections are taking place next week, both in seats vacated by a sitting Conservative MP.
Tomorrow we're going to focus on Kingswood near Bristol, but today let's take a look at Wellingborough in Northamptonshire, where the MP Peter Bone was forced to stand down after allegations of bullying and sexually inappropriate behaviour. Our political correspondent Helen Catt has been speaking to voters there. And you can see a full list.
Still to come on the programme this morning, a real treat for you. We're going to talk to Sir Michael Morpurgo, who's...
What a moment!
I love that.
Yeah.
It is just incredible. You absolutely believe that the horses are real in Warhorse. Really incredible.
Hopefully he's staying with us for a little bit longer. But now it's time to get the news, the travel and the weather where you are. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Ben Thompson and Sally Nugent.
Good morning. Our headlines at 7. Tickets are available. It starts in September. Tickets are available now. Michael, thank you so much. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you. It's nearly 8 o'clock. We're back in just a second, but now let's get the news, the travel and the weather where you are.
Just approaching 17 minutes past 8. Good morning. On Breakfast, we've been following, of course, the work of Mike, Andy and Tim. They're also known as 3 Dads Walking. Their first challenge was back in 2021.
Now, they met after each losing a daughter to suicide, and now they're trying to stop other families from going through the same ordeal. Before we hear about their latest mammoth hike, Alison Freeman has a reminder of what they've achieved so far. Our chief political correspondent, Henry Zeffman. Morning, Henry. So we've got a little bit more information about the proposals now. And in fact, they were revealed in a rather unusual way, weren't they? Is the budget lower than it was?
It's a £3 billion budget.
So